I'm just going to quickly show you how you can sew a lace trim, a narrow stretch lace, onto the leg openings of your homemade panties. So you can use this method on my Frankie panties sewn pattern, or just really any basic lingerie sewn pattern. This is a good technique. So you need to get to this point if you're doing a pair of panties where you've sewn the crotch seam but not your side seams. If you want to see how I've done this seam right here, then go and check out my other video. I will link that in the comments down below for you. So to start off, I'm going to take the wrong side of the lace and I'm just going to apply it on top, just like this, all the way around, so the outside edge of the lace is on the outside edge of the fabric, like this. Then I'm just going to pin it all in place. So this is a great way to add just a lovely, pretty little edge detail to your panties. There we go. So what you need to do is just cut this here. So we basically do the same on the other side, but what we need to do is mirror the lace so it all looks very symmetrical. So you just need to basically match the same point at the side seams and at the two crotch seams. They are just sort of good indicators as to whether it's sort of sitting symmetrically, and I think that looks pretty good. Yep, and it's the same at both the side seams, so now I'm going to pin that in place as well. And it does help if you kind of straighten this all out, going around a curve, so you can see that it's going to lie flat. There we go, because it does look sort of a bit crinkly at the moment. However, as soon as you put them on, that will look absolutely beautiful. The best thing I find now to do is to just hand stitch this all in place, just some really big messy stitches just to hold this all so it doesn't move when we sew with the sewing machine. So I'm using a black thread for this so it's nice and easy to see, so that when I come to take it out it's quite easy for me. And then you just want, it doesn't matter how neat this part is because this bit is going to be removed. So just some big long stitches. This actually doesn't take long. I know the thought of hand stitching for some people is a little bit painful, but I quite like it and it doesn't last too long if you do nice big stitches. And it is much better than having to unpick a load of teeny tiny zigzag stitches the same colour as the lace if it moves. Okay, so now that all the basting stitches are in place, I am going to take out all the pins. Don't want to sew over those. Okay, so now it's time for the fun bit. I'm going to sew the lace along the inside edge of the lace. I'm going to follow the shape, but as I sew, you'll see I'm going to lift the foot up and sort of move it round and not drag it under, just so it keeps it nice and flat and we don't stretch it out of shape. I'm going to use a narrow zigzag stitch, and I've got my sewing machine, oh, little bits out of the way. I've got my sewing machine set to a width of 2 and a length of 2.5, so here goes. So there we are, and you can't see the stitches because I've used the same colour thread as the lace, so it just blends in completely so you can't see them. And on the other side I've used a white thread because the inside is white, so you can't see that really either, so it's not like we've got this huge pink sort of snaky line on the inside. So now I'm going to sew the other side as well. So there we are, that's both sides sewn on and the lace is mirrored beautifully. So now before we do anything else, we need to remove the basting stitches. So now I'm just cutting the lace to the shape of the pattern piece, following the shape just like that. There we are, that's what it should look like at this point. So we're going to turn the work over to the wrong side and then trim back the fabric all the way along both leg openings. Trim it back to the zigzag stitches. And it helps if you do this flat on the table. So for this bit I am using my applique scissors just so I don't accidentally snip into the lace that's underneath as well as the fabric. So there we are, that's what it looks like from the wrong side. So if we put it up like this, then there we go. So all you've got to do now is sew your side seams according to whichever pattern it is you are making up, and you have got two beautiful lace edged leg openings.